Hi, this is Matt from Find My Blogway. I'm going to show you how to carry out keyword analysis in the same way that I do so that you can pull off a huge amount of keywords that you can then target on your website to bring through traffic. Now this can be in the form of long tail keywords, so much more specific query related stuff, or we could be looking at some more short tail stuff. And the example I'm going to use is my own travel blog. And so if you own a travel blog, then you might find this particularly useful, but if you don't, it doesn't matter at all because it's going to be really transferable. So I'm going to talk you through some of the tools that I'm going to use for this, and also then through the exact processes. So the first tool that many of you may be already familiar with is Google Keyword Planner. This is just within AdWords, tool analysis, keyword planner, completely free tool to use. The second tool that I'm going to show you today is Keyword Snatcher tool. This is something that I've been using recently and is pretty awesome for generating new keyword ideas. On top of this, which is kind of an alternative to Keyword Snatcher, is Scrapebox. Now, some of you may be aware of Scrapebox, some of you may not. I'll talk to you briefly about how you can use that for keyword analysis. And then, finally, is ubersuggest.org, a free tool which I've talked about in the past. And this is another way where we can generate a load of keyword ideas. So let me just talk about the starting point that I always do. Now, the first thing I always do is search through, if we're talking about an existing site where we want to do a bit of keyword analysis. So with my travel blog, I will copy this, go over to the keyword planner, and I'll search for new ideas and ad groups. All I'm going to do is simply type in my landing page there, so my home page I'm going to start with. Targeting here, remove that. I target all countries. So what you could do if you only target specific countries, add that in there. Specific languages. Obviously, you don't want Google search partners for this specific stuff. You can also type in any negative keywords. We don't need that. Within here, I want only keywords that bring at least 100 searches every month. Bear in mind when you're doing keyword analysis that page 1, position 1 of Google, right at the top of Google, you usually bring out between kind of 26 to 30% of all of the monthly search volumes in traffic. So anything lower than 100 searches isn't necessarily not worth it, but really if you want to be bringing in much more keyword traffic, that's kind of my bottom point, but you don't need to necessarily go with that. Show me any ideas closely related to my search terms. We don't need this sorted out. You could do it via product category if you wanted to, and that can be a helpful thing for a broad point. You can also type in exact keywords. To start with though, I always start just with, say, the home page. And what we've got here is a load of different keywords. Sorry, I just had a telephone going off. So I've got a load of different keywords that we can group into ad groups that I grouped there. So they'll show us a load of different search terms related to what's put in the ad group trip. We can sort that by average monthly searches and find a few keywords here. Now I'm not going to start adding keywords in yet. I'm just going to show you these. So it also has keywords like, it's obviously found Skydeck Melbourne, which is one of the blog titles I've talked about. And it's found a load of keywords related to that as well. Now, sometimes you'll get loads of ad groups if it's really broad stuff that's being mentioned on the pages. Other times you won't. And the main thing that you're going to find is within the keyword ideas part itself. So, just to give you an overview of what my blog talks about, it's pretty much all kinds of travel stories from myself and a few friends, our personal travel stuff from around East Asia and a few other places. So mainly focusing around East Asia, to be honest, so Thailand in particular. So that's where I want to be having a look at things. Now, I always sort it by average monthly searches. This time it's only shown 12 keywords, probably because it's my blog homepage, to be honest. And we'll be able to get a bit more out of that as we go forward. But to start with, average monthly searches, we've got Thailand trip to Thailand. Now, when I'm doing things like a travel blog, I don't want stuff that's related to commercial style things. So we're going to end up getting a load of stuff that's like flights, hotels, buy. I don't want commercial related keywords here, or insurance. Don't want that. Hotel. What else can we have? Holiday, maybe. Vacation, maybe that might be right. I just want to get rid of anything with those keywords in, just because it's just not relevant to me. Now bear in mind we've filtered these as well. So what I'll start doing is having a little look. Thailand trip, that could definitely be fitted in somewhere. Add that to my plan. You can see monthly search volume here. Also, another important thing that I would say to look at is, if we look here, this has got 110 searches on average every month. That's one thing to bear in mind. So I would imagine the full moon party has much higher search volumes at other times of the year. So when we're looking at January time for this search term, right here, actually in January 2013 it received 260 monthly searches. So bear in mind this is only an average figure. So if you have got stuff that's kind of hitting around peak times in particular, things to search for. Look at this one, Skydeck 88, 480 on average, but actually goes all the way up to 720 monthly searches in July. So don't just look at these search terms on their these search volumes on their own. So what I would do here is I've added in that, add in Skydeck Melbourne, Skydeck 88, Melbourne Skydeck. That could be all around one of my blog posts. Tour to Thailand. I don't really want things with tour written in it. Again, that's going to be more commercial focused anchor text. Anchor text, keywords. Getting my SEO terminology mixed up. Okay, trip to Thailand, that'll do. Eureka Skydeck Melbourne. Planning a trip to Thailand, that's another good one. I'd imagine that's, yeah, you can see that's a bit more during January and March peak times for people looking at that kind of thing. So I can maybe also from this, which I'll come on to later, have a little look at specific ways in which we can target timely content as well. Chiang Mai travel blog, yeah, that works. I talk about Chiang Mai quite a lot. The full moon party, definitely. Trip Thailand, that works. Thai trip, I'm not going to put that in. I don't think that's good enough. Okay, another thing I'll do after this is look at specific pages across the site that can help me to bring in kind of more keywords. So drilling down on specific blogs, we do the same here. This is kind of the first stage of things that I always do. Have a little look. Get rid of airways, airline. Don't want that in there. So Bangkok Airport. That's a big search term. Could maybe write an article about the airport. I'm going to remove airlines. I actually don't want holidays in there as well, because that's a whole different type of thing. Tours. You'll start to see the kind of search terms that come up that you don't want, and you can just be added them into the exclude files. Likewise, you can include stuff if you only want stuff related to, let's say, Bangkok. Only include search terms that have Bangkok in it, and there we'll start getting a few other stuff. Now, Bangkok nightlife, big search term. Things to do in Bangkok. Weather in Bangkok, that's a good one. Safari World Bangkok. Shopping in Bangkok, that's another one. Bangkok to Phuket, personally took that journey. What to do in Bangkok. Places to visit. So you start to see, we can find loads of stuff here. And a way that I sometimes find some good, I'll just remove this, a good way of finding a few different long tail stuff is I'll just add in who, what, why, where, how to. And what you start finding from this is if you add in, I'll just show you that again, who, what, why, where, how, and to. I always do this, and you find some real gold that's really much more focused around blog titles, so things to do in Thailand, places to visit in Thailand, and generally you can find some real gold with these keywords that aren't as competitive that you can target. And if you look at these search volumes, so Bangkok to Pattaya, that's good. Again, so you can see I'm just systematically going through all of these. Cheap places to travel, it's a bit broad. What to do in Thailand, another good one. So loads of stuff here. And what I would be doing is I'd be going through all these and building up a huge list of all this stuff, because this can all be great, but it's not always feasible to go through every single URL. So what I do is use a little trick and go into Excel, and if any of you use the SEO tools plugin, which you really should be doing, you can check out my full SEO tools plugin for Excel tutorial, which I did. That's on the YouTube channel, on the blog, so give that a watch as well, and that'll talk you a bit more how to use this. But what I'm going to do here is I've clicked on the Google Analytics tab here, and I've pulled in the travel blogs, my travel blogs Google Analytics stuff. Selected the metrics here as traffic sources, organic searches. Just done the interval of this year of data. Dimensions, host name and landing page path. And I've segmented it by search traffic. Max results 5,000, that'll be fine. Values, start index at 1. I don't want any more filtering, so I'm just going to press insert, and in a split second we'll get a load of good stuff. Now I'm just going to add in URL, an extra column here. I'm just going to press equals A2 and B2. And what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to combine, see this is some of the, it might be AdSense stuff. I'm just going to combine the URL here, the host name, with the actual the landing page path to create the full URL. So I'm just going to, you'll see what I mean when I scroll this down. Copy that. Just going to insert. Sorry. Just going to insert another cell here. Control C, and then what I'm doing is I'm just going to paste the values in so that I can delete these. And that won't have a knock-on effect. So what you'll see there is all of the URLs in their full format. Control Z. What you might also want to do, if you want to do kind of a bit more analysis into this kind of thing, you might want to also do the same by, in fact I'll do it now. One thing I always do, HTTP add this in before. Insert and do the same thing. Just gonna, equals this and this. What this has essentially done is it's pulled in all of the URLs that are bringing through search traffic from the travel blog, and what that means I can do is have a look once I've just a bit obsessed with having good formatting, as you may have noticed in a few of my other videos. So once I've just finished having an OCD freak out, okay, there we go. Right, just get rid of these stories ones. Delete. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to sort these URLs, filter largest to smallest. And sorry, I should have explained a bit better. The reason why I just did this is just in case I want to easily grab, copy, and paste this into the Google Keyword Planner. It's all in a nice format. We don't have to be like copying 3 cells in at a time. It just saves a lot of time for you. So what I've got here is the list of the web pages on the site that bring in the most organic search volume as it is. So what I can then do is see, okay, which of these pages have a big potential to bring in probably more search traffic. What I would do then is copy this, Control C, just go back into Google Chrome, add this in. So this is one of the main pages that brings in traffic to the blog actually, and it was all about our time in the full moon party. So just scroll up. So what we can find here is a load of different keywords. Obviously we've still got the who, what, why, where, and other ones like that within there. And we start finding a load of keywords related to this page. So we don't want trips to Thailand. Get rid of, that's made me notice another. Trips. Oh. And packages. Or package. Don't want that. Okay, what is the next full moon? Best season to visit Thailand. You'll see, like what I said before, you look at it and you go, okay, there's only a few searches there, but actually there's potential to bring in 320 searches, if not more in the future. How to get to CoPP. What I'm just going to do for this is just remove these. Full moon party, huge amounts of traffic can be coming into that, all the way up to kind of 60,500. When I was on like page 2 for that search, I was bringing in shed load of traffic. So there's lots of stuff going on there. Full moon calendar, as you can see, 74,000 searches just in January. So the start of the year, people are after that. That could be good. Pattaya nightlife, again, more stuff. Full moon party Thailand. Full moon party Koh Phangan. Koh Phangan full moon party. So you can start to see the systematic process I go through. And this is what I do on things like e-commerce websites. I do on blogs. I do on just information websites. All the time, just start going through all of these URLs to start with, and you can see already how many keywords I've started gathering, and it's a really good process to do. So likewise with this, we've started teaching English. I want to only have things related to teaching English in Thailand, really. So Thailand. Don't want to jobs. Teaching English in Thailand. Teach English in Thailand. Teaching in Thailand, because this was a post that was all focused around teaching English in Thailand and how you can go about it. Teach in Thailand, international schools in Thailand, yeah. So loads of extra keywords there. So that's where I'd start saying, okay, we can rinse and repeat that. Now, what I'm going to do is, because it's not always, you don't always get as many kind of fruitful results from doing this. You're always going to get quite a few good results, but if you're struggling a bit finding ones with good monthly searches, then there's some other tools that we want to start looking at. The first one is another free tool, and that is Ubersuggest. Now, just going to put in here English US. Let's just say, in fact, Chiang Mai, one of the places in Thailand. So it's a lot less popular than Bangkok per se, so it might have less results, which is kind of what I want to show that's a bit more representational, that a lot more of you might be able to relate to. Let me just press suggest. So you just put in a very broad term. Now what Ubersuggest will do is it does a similar thing to what Google does here when we go Chiang Mai, and it finds a few semantically related terms. Now Ubersuggest scrapes these kind of results on a mass scale to provide you with loads of different stuff. Chiang Mai Thai, Chiang Mai hotels, Chiang Mai boys, university, real estate, Thailand. So you can start seeing, breaks it down on suffixes that start with A, B, C, D, blah, 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 blah. What we can do is select all keywords, get, Control A, copy. We can modify our search, take away the landing page, and paste these in. What we need to do here Okay, what we need to have a little look now is just have a look through some of the search volume. So obviously we've got the filter set up, so it'll filter out stuff that we don't want. Also only searches for terms of 100 searches or more. And now we can start adding a few here. So Chiang Mai weather maybe, talk about weather in a blog post. Chiang Mai Thailand, Chiang Mai Zoo, Chiang Mai University maybe, nightlife, night safari. So you start getting loads of search terms. You start doing this for anything. And I mean, just to kind of show you. So let's just do web design. So come something completely different. Suggest this. What we'll get is loads of keywords here. Web design inspiration, web design software, web designer salary, web design jobs, tutorials, templates, portfolio, blogs, tools, agency, Atlanta, and hosting, awards, Austin, apps. So there's loads of different things that you can gather. So Ubersuggest, I talk about Ubersuggest all the time when it comes to kind of keywords. So this is a very powerful tool to use. Now, another tool which I love is Keyword Snatcher. This is a paid for tool and it is just awesome. It does essentially what Ubersuggest does, but on a mass scale. And I think, I'm trying to remember how much Keyword Snatcher costs. It's ridiculously cheap. I think it's like $48. The link will be in the video description. You can also go through to it via the blog post, so have a little look at it there. I would really advise getting Keyword Snatcher, and I will show you why. So what we can do here is select our country. So if we do United States, let's just get, let's get Bangkok here. Bangkok. Now, filtered keywords, we can also do skip keywords containing any of these terms. So what I'm just going to actually do, in fact, we'll filter those after. Leave that unfiltered for now. What I'll do is, you want to keep all of these sources on, so it will look across YouTube, eBay, Amazon, Bing, Yahoo, and Google, as opposed to just what Google AdWords Keyword Planner does, and just look at Google to find semantically similar terms. And all you need to do is press Get Suggestions. And you can see, I'm not going to pause the video, I'm just going to let this run in real time. This is how many keywords it's finding. So we've got 400, nearly 500, coming on to nearly 600, and this has been running for what, 10 seconds? And we can just start looking at all of these keywords, and the beauty of this tool is it will just keep going. Like it will just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, finding more and more searches. I mean, just to give you an idea, I did another great feature of Keyword Snatcher is you can just not type in a keyword, press start, and it will just find recent kind of popular keywords that are being searched for regularly. Now, I've been running a search for about an hour now, and it's delivered back 200,000, so nearly 201,000 search terms across all sorts of stuff that are regularly searched for. So you can imagine the value in this information. I could maybe use this to go out, buy some exact match domains, set up affiliate sites or blog articles or whatever I want to do. There's all sorts that can be done with this kind of information. So you can see where this tool might be slightly handy. I mean, we've been running this now for a minute, and it's got 1,600 search terms that it's found. So I'm just going to press stop. You can stop it at any time, really. And what we'll do is download as a CSV, download suggestions. And that's now downloaded as Bangkok.csv. Now what we'll do is press modify search and just delete all of this. Press choose file, so in get search volume for a list of keywords or group them into add groups. Choose file, Bangkok, get search volume. Now this will come up with an error in a second. Errors in uploaded file. Keywords can't contain this. A good thing to do is to get rid of any extra symbols within the CSV beforehand. No huge issue if not, but I'm just going to ignore and upload that for this sake. And now we've got a huge range which we've filtered within AdWords, within Google Keyword Planner instead of in Keyword Snatcher. Now you can skip keywords here and filter it within Keyword Snatcher, but it can cause you to miss out some search terms that might potentially be good for you. So I prefer to filter them inside here. So now what we've got is loads of stuff. So obviously Bangkok. We've got loads of searches for that. Search terms too broad for me, to be honest. Bangkok Thai, Bangkok Thailand, Bangkok University, Bangkok Love Story, all sorts of stuff. We've got 558 keywords that actually match our criteria. So there's loads of stuff here that we can use to bring in masses of traffic through to the blog. And that is just pretty awesome, to be honest. And that was in the space of what? A few minutes. So yeah, this tool in particular is very powerful. Now, the other tool that I talked about, Scrapebox, does a very similar job to Keyword Snatcher, if not the exact same. Interface is slightly different. So if you have Scrapebox, you can do the exact same thing, really. Now, within Scrapebox, you just go to Scrape, Keyword Scraper, and what we can do is enter a few different terms. So Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Koh Tao, Koh Chang, just a few different places in Thailand that we can get some keywords for. Koh Samui, Koh Phangan. Okay, select that. I'm going to go really deep here. You can just do it on a single level, but I really want to find a shed load of keywords, so I'm just going to press start scraping. What Scrapebox will actually do is it will find keywords related to the search terms, and then from those search terms move down levels and find more keywords related to the initial pages that they've been looking for keywords for. So you can get huge amounts of keywords, and you'll see here it just is essentially transferred all the keywords it found on the first scrape into this section, and it's scraping on a second level. And when we're doing 4 levels, we can go through and just rinse and repeat, finding more and more and more. So this is very, very similar. So you can, again, you can abort this at any time, and then it's just a case of doing the same thing. You can do is send this to Scrapebox, keywords added to keyword list, and then we can add all of those keywords into Google Keyword Planner. So it's the same process really as Keyword Snatcher. Scrapebox, it really depends on your preference. I suppose with Scrapebox, I found that you do find quite a lot of the more specific search terms, but at the same time it depends on your query. As you can see, we've just scraped through and found 1,307 different results. So very powerful tool that you can get here, especially for within blogs. Then once we've gathered all the keywords, that's kind of not the final stage. What I'll do is download this, include monthly searches, segment by month, excel.csv, download that. Okay. One important thing to remember with Google Keyword Planner is that it actually pulls off the monthly search stats always as exact match. It doesn't do broad match stuff anymore, so like the keyword tool used to do. Okay, close this. I'm just going to get rid of a few fields. So you see it says broad match, that's actually gathered average monthly results for exact match searches. So ignore that. Delete. Okay. Keyword. Server. Right. Difficulty, I've just added in another layer here. What I always do is get the Moz difficulty score for all of the keywords that I'm trying to target. Now, for the purpose of this, we've got loads of keywords here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of a few of them, just to show you the kind of way that I find opportunities a lot easier. So you'll see the reason why I've just picked 20 is because I can just easily plot those into Moz. So I'm going to go over to Moz. If you've got a Moz subscription, this isn't essential, but it's a good way of having kind of a bit of competitive research as well. So it's not just keyword data on its own. I'm just going to go to keyword ranking tools, keyword difficulty. So it's such a great tool, this particular tool is by Moz. Okay, I'm just going to enter that in for the United States search terms, should I say, and then you can just wait for those to come in. In the meantime, I'll show you some bits of formatting that I do. So I always just change these to the dates. 12, Jan 13, Feb 13, March 13, 13, June, a minute, July 13, August 13. Now, what we've got obviously here, just to separate that, we'll format this in a different color, just a light grey. Then what I like to do here is, obviously what we're talking about is we've got a load of monthly searches here, but in different times through the year, there might actually be bigger searches for these search terms. So this might not necessarily be representational, especially if there's a really high standard deviation. So what I'll do is highlight from October through to August. I'm just going to go to conditional formatting, top and bottom rules, and then more rules. And I just want to find format values that rank in the top one. Format, just fill that as green. Okay. So what that's done is it's highlighted the highest search volumes within those months. And I'm just going to go down and format this for each row. I'm going to do this each row at a time, just because otherwise it will just search across all of the data. So you can see as I'm doing this, actually, you can find some search terms that aren't as obvious or aren't as low search volumes as we initially thought, and we can also find them that have much bigger potential. And I also find that conditional formatting like this within Excel is one of my favorite features, to be honest, because it does highlight things and bring things to your attention much easier, especially in big data sets. Bear in mind that most of the keyword analysis I do for things like blogs will be into the tens of thousands of keywords, so it can be a minefield. So you can start having a bit more of a better representation here of stuff. Now, I'm just going to go back to Moz because that should have finished by now. Just messing with the zoom. Just scroll down here. Okay. Just going to add in the difficulty score. So 66, 45, 55, 45, 56, 46, 44. It's just a bit of a manual process, but to be honest, it's really worth doing it. Sometimes on ones like this, where I do this on a mass scale, like when I'm talking about 10,000 different keywords, I will actually outsource that via Odesk and just get that done nice and quickly by someone. It means that I'm not spending a shitload of time going through and adding in data that could be easily added in by a freelancer. Let's bring that back up. Where were we? 54, 54, 53. Good, didn't make any mistakes. Right, now that's all added in, what I'm going to do is go to Data, Filter, and then filter these from largest to smallest. And we can remove that. Then just highlight these cells, go back to my favorite thing of conditional formatting, go to color scales, and do a red, yellow, green color scale. What that'll do is start highlighting ones that are slightly harder to rank for, and also then in green ones that are really kind of a bit easier to rank for. Now, if we've got green ones showing up near the top here, they're going to be for really high volume search terms, so we can instantly say that's a great one to target. So, for example, this specific keyword, Bangkok to Phuket, is a very good search term for us to target. Safari World Bangkok looks like a great one to target. And even Skydeck Melbourne, that doesn't look too competitive, likewise these. So you can start to see where conditional formatting really does come into its own and start showing you a lot more actionable data than what just these kind of things do. And I mean, one thing that I've done as well is if I'm targeting specific keywords, you can also use this kind of data to do things like graphs stuff, so we can plot out, say, over time. Let's find one that's a bit more variable. Let's say this. Insert line graph. Start don't do that, sorry. Hide this. We could do this. Do a big insert of a line graph. Start to get might be better actually formatted in a different way. Let me just reconfigure this. Move that to a chart of its own. Keyword searches. And we can start to see some of the keywords. Actually, these series need swapping around. That's why. Select data. Switch row and column. Okay. And now you can quickly see an overview of some of the peak times across all of your keywords for search volumes that are going to be really big. Now for these terms, you can see here, January is really a peak time for loads of my keywords, and they all actually follow a solid trend. Now this kind of data is really valuable on big scale SEO projects across your blogs, across e-commerce websites. And I mean, you can pick and choose a few, take some of these out. If you were to refer back to this, do it over a monthly basis, you can then overlay it with your own traffic data as well, which can be another good analysis tool. So you can really see using a combination of tools. So with Keyword Snatcher, Ubersuggest, Scrapebox, and Google Keyword Planner, you can really find loads and loads of keywords. We can be talking into thousands of different keywords. And this is a process that I always do across any website SEO project, and you can get some really good results. So check out the blog and some of the other videos where I talk a bit more about SEO tools as well that you can go into. Also, I did a bit of a post on where you can use Scrapebox for link prospecting as well. I mean, there's loads of documentation out there on different things you can do with some of the other tools. So check it out. Let me know what you think of the video, and hopefully it will help a few of you out. And make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.